Austin Hill put the blame on Shane Van Gisbergen for the reason why he moved him going into turn one on the last restart of the NASCAR Xfinity Series race at COTA. Before we get into this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at John Trent Racing. NASCAR hasn't put out that last restart. I haven't seen any video from them on that restart. I did try and look for it. I didn't see it on any of their official channels. I didn't even see it on Fox or Canadian or Canada's TSN. But we do have the retaliation from Shane Van Gisbergen after he was able to get rid of Sage Karam. But basically what happened is you have that restart, you have that really sharp left-hand turn going into turn one at COTA, and Austin Hill basically was right on Shane Van Gisbergen's bumper, pushed him up out of the way, was able to slip underneath him. Van Gisbergen went wide, and he was able to drive past him. Not only was Austin Hill able to drive past Shane Van Gisbergen, but so was Sage Karam. Van Gisbergen was able to get around Sage Karam and then was trying to work on Austin Hill in the final lap. And he was able to eventually get around him, but Kyle Larson would get around both of them. And then NASCAR decided to give Van Gisbergen a 30-second penalty for going out of bounds, basically. But here is kind of the final race here at the end between Larson, Van Gisbergen, and Austin Hill. So let's take a look at what exactly happens here on the final lap as Van Gisbergen gives Austin Hill a little bit of his medicine back. Gives him a little shot right there, gives him another shot, and then he gets him pushed out of the way. And then Larson kind of slips by, and then Austin Hill tries the crossover. It doesn't work, and Van Gisbergen is able to kind of, Hill gets the crossover there, and then Van Gisbergen is able to get him back, and Larson would go on to win, and Van Gisbergen would end up finishing in second. You had this here from Matt Weaver announcing that NASCAR did indeed penalize Van Gisbergen a 30-second penalty for course cutting on the last lap. I think that's just utterly ridiculous and stupid. Of course, it's what NASCAR would do. As far as what Austin Hill did to Shane Van Gisbergen, I don't find any fault with that. I think that is what you do on these road courses. He's going for the win. I don't blame him for that. What I do blame Austin Hill for is trying to put the blame on what he did on Shane Van Gisbergen. Let's take a listen to what he said in the post-race, and I just find this utterly ridiculous right here. Let's take a listen.
Lifted super early. I'm not real sure why he lifted so early, and then he started wheel hopping. Once I got in the back of him into one, and then we cleared him, and I'm trying to run as hard as I can, but not overdrive the corners, and thought I was doing everything right into 15 and 16 there, like trying to protect, and ultimately just got ran over. It knocked his nose in, so it kind of shows how hard he ran into me. But all in all, I mean, our Chevrolet was.
So there you go. You could hear that he says that it was Shane Van Gisbergen was braking and he didn't understand why he was braking. And then he said he was wheel hopping and then he moved him out of the way. I think that's just utterly ridiculous. Just say that you moved him out of the way. I don't understand why you need to be trying to put the blame on Shane Van Gisbergen for what you did. It was obvious. We saw it. You moved him out of the way. It's a good racing move. There's nothing to be ashamed of that. Like, you could just say that. But this is what Shane Van Gisbergen had to say. Very different perspective here. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
It was a crazy race. We got better and better. The weather tech Camaro was awesome, and yeah, that last restart he just drove through me at one. So yeah, I guess that's how it is here. I just stood up for myself, but it was some pretty awesome racing with AJ, Kyle, and then at the end it just turned into a mess. But that's how it is. It was really fun, but wish I could have got the lead, but Kyle just snuck through there. He was driving really well, but yeah, a lot of fun.
So that is what Shane Van Gisbergen had to say. He says that Hill ran through him. If we eventually get the replay, you'll see that. That's exactly what Austin Hill did. He moved him out of the way, which, again, I don't fault him for doing that. I fault him for just not manning up to saying that he did that. And then Van Gisbergen actually did. He did say that. He's like, it turned into a mess, and I was the one who turned it into a mess. I mean, he doesn't say that, but he says it turned into a mess. It's obvious that he was the one that kind of did that because he moved Hill out of the way. But that's racing, and that's why we love it. But what do you guys make of this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.